I'm not a YouTuber, so don't bother subscribing, but if there are any Oil Prince gifters, catch me at twitch.tv/backpack, where I stream once a year. Well, if there are any Twitterers, catch me at twitter.com/backpackjd. It'll be in the description. Let's get right into this. So first of all, I don't have an editing software, so I apologize if I get lost for a bit or if this takes longer than it needs to. Regardless, thanks for your time. Let's start with a quick overview on Nagoriyuki. So this character has bad movement, meaning he doesn't have a double jump, he doesn't have an air dash, doesn't have a dash, doesn't have a run. All this character has is a mighty fine super jump and Fukyo. We'll get into both of those later. Next, the character relies on risky but strong mix-ups. A lot of this is like strike throw mix-ups. The blood gauge is going to be hard to manage during the learning period of the character. You will find yourself in situations where it just seems like they're blocking everything you do because you're not going for command grab. You're just like, why aren't you falling for this frame trap? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Why aren't you opened up yet? No way, you're not mashing, and you lost the game. So it's something you got to manage. You'll figure it out, though. I'm confident. This character also has super strong offense and a high reward on hit. So let me give you the exact same example. Oh. This time I went for a command grab, yeah, and it actually worked out, and now we're probably winning the game. So, you know, we'll go more into these things in the future. I'm just giving you a little bit of an overview. And the last thing is that this character has very weak defense. And yeah, he doesn't have a DP. He does have a reversal super, but yikes, a whole bar, and if it's blocked, yikes, yikes, yikes. Yeah, the character, it's tough. That being said, dude is super fun. Let's get right into the normals. So 5P is 5 frames. It's his fastest normal, and it gatlings into command normals. His 2P is 6 frames, 1 frame slower, and it's just like a standard low poke, no big deal. 5K is 7 frames, and it's jump cancelable. It's not as active as its counterpart 2K, which is way more active, also 7 frames, and hits low. 2K combos into 6P, and 5K combos into 6K. Close slash, 7 frames. It's cancelable into dust, I believe. Yep. Cancelable into dust, any of the command normals, 2S, far slash, and I believe it is +3 on block. It is very strong if you get them to block this thing. There are just so many options off of it. The far slash has 2 optional gatlings after it. Or sorry, it is 3, but oh no, it is 2. 1, 2. There you go. And there's a gap between the second and third one that frame traps. So guard only first hit. Natural gap. Next we have the 2S, which is a decent range. It's a really nice low poke, also a good punish tool for that exact range. 5HS, I mean, frame traps right after it. But there's a bit of a gap, so they can jump out of it. 5HS is pretty useless unless you're looking for a counter hit, like you block a DP or something. It's only good when your blood meter is up. And the move just becomes better and better. It gets bigger and bigger. Use it in neutral when your blood meter is high. Next we have 2HS. This is great for keeping people out of the air. My philosophy is to always 2-3-6K after this, and I'll explain why later. 6P, first command normal. This is an anti-air tool, upper body invincible. So this normal is a little weird. So I'm just going to explain to you what to do if this thing ever hits, because you can't do anything that you usually do. I would go into these 4 things. So on standing non-counter hit, I would go into, you're going to see this doesn't hit. On non-counter hit, I would just go into boom, boom, like that. That actually safe jumps. Wait a bit. Let me show that off real quick. I don't know if I'll be able to do the timing. It's been a while since I've hit that as non-counter hit. I don't even think I did it the right timing the first time, but I'll think about it this time. There you go. Safe jump. Next, on counter hit, this will actually OTG combo, and we'll get into why this is important later. And if they're in the air, like you 6p them while they're in the air, I recommend just dashing towards them, and you'll see what to do later when we get into these things. And on non-counter hit, I recommend doing the exact same thing. These are both the aerial version. So on air, just 236k after it, get in their face. On the ground, 1U safe jump, 1U OTG combo. Next, we have 6k. The only thing notable about this is that it can catch backdashes if you're up close. And once again, it combos off of 5k. And lastly, I believe it has some, before I do that, I believe it also has some low crush mechanics, like low crush frames in there, where it'll beat a low move outright. I can't confirm that. I don't know exactly how to test that, but I've heard that. Lastly, on counter hit, this true combos into command grab. And if you're a little farther away, it won't, but you can actually 236k and it'll be true. There you go, true. And I do have stagger recovery on fast, so that is actually a true combo. Next, we have 6HS. This button, in my opinion, is really only used for fishing for counter hits. Yeah, you use them pressure and frame trap, and you're really trying to get them to do something like this, maybe. Or I guess it doesn't work after clash. That into that. I've seen a lot of pros do this string. If either of them hits, it leads to crazy damage. 2D. I literally never use this button, but I know when I first started picking up this character, there was like a safe jump where you walk forward a little bit. If you ever press the button by accident, that's what you do, okay? So 5D, it's a cheeky overhead. I really only use this after like a blocked low or over, or blocked 5k or 2k is what I should say. I don't even know a good combo off of it because I rarely use the thing. I also see pros using it like this, where they'll go boom boom and then they'll quick RC cancel into that. Very pog that I just got that first try it. JP, this is pretty much just an air-to-air button. It's a higher hitbox than the JK counterpart. That's pretty much how I use them. JK is exactly the same, except JK also has a cross-up hitbox. I don't know if I'll be able to show you that. Perfect. JK is a cross-up hitbox. JS is a longer poke. You can use this. I mainly use it to like hit somebody out of the air to keep them back. You can use it as like a get on the person to like, you know, get on them. But the problem is that it's very easy to 6p. Like for some reason he doesn't have May hitboxes, so you actually get 6p. It's crazy. JHS, this you're pretty much using whenever you're on top of them. It also leads to some safe jumps. Well, it doesn't lead to them, but use it for safe jumps. And I would always recommend using 5k after it, because on hit it combos, and on block I believe it's gapless. And oh, lastly, JD. This is pretty much exactly like the slash right here, except it doesn't really have ground use ever. It's really just to keep people in the air, and I also see people using it in combos, but I haven't really found a way to implement that into my gameplay. I don't really see it necessary right now. Give me 1 second. All right, cool. So next we're on to special moves. So one thing to note is that all of Nagoriyuki's specials cancel into his other specials. First we have Fukio. It's his 236k/214k. Quarter circle forward. Well, I was going to say the button, but I don't actually use a PS4 controller, Xbox controller. 236k, 214k, going forward and backwards. The momentum works as follows. If you do it back and you hold forward, you will pretty much do like a very quick backdash. At any point, you can press forward and it will stop you in that place. This is good for like, if I want to bait something specific, I play like right outside of that range. Something like that, right? It's also obviously good for, I mean, right there I was trying to show that you can stay out of the range, but obviously that would also frame trap if they did press a button. This is also super important combos, and obviously in the pressure, like I just showed, pressure and combos, you do it because once again, you can cancel specials into specials, so you can use that to that, and it actually works. Lastly, this thing is just super important for his neutral. You really need to navigate the screen with it at all times. Even if it doesn't seem like a useful Fukio, you should just do it, because changing your position could like mess with the opponent, or maybe they already committed to like a jump or something. Next, we're gonna have like 623P, which is a command grab. It's a 7-frame command grab, and it drastically decreases the blood gauge. It throws DPs and grabbable reversals if you time it correctly. I will show you examples of this later. 623HS, I showed this earlier. It's pretty much just a combo tool. I've heard pros using it as an anti-air tool, but I don't use it this way. I'm not really fast enough with the Z motion to be able to do it like on reaction. I barely survive with 6P. Let me give an example of how this is used in combo. Just something like this, into dash, and then whatever, right? Next, we have 236S. This is a projectile. You really only use it to get in, but the biggest tip I have for you is that you just always follow this thing up with Fukio. Because, yeah, I mean, it's so slow. Right, I'll hold jump after doing it. It's so slow, so you really need to cancel into Fukio, whether you do it forward or backwards. I would do it forward if you want to get in, backwards if like they're 1 HP and you're just trying to like keep them at range and poke them. This thing takes a lot of meter, like just as much as the other specials, so I really wouldn't just like throw it out a lot. You can see this thing went up by an entire like bar in blood gauge. Lastly, we have 214HS, and this thing auto frame traps after like any non-heavy / normal, and obviously it's a combo tool. But let me show you the frame trap. So we'll have it on guard only first hit. We'll do boom, boom, boom. Great, right? Now we'll do boom, boom. Great, right? Obviously right now the dude's just not blocking, but if they press a button here, they'll get counter hit, and it does crazy damage. Like I showed in that combo earlier, you can use it in combos. So that's important. Next, we have Blood Rage. We're just going to talk about Blood Rage in general. So Blood Rage is the punishment for using your special moves. And you can lower this meter with the command grab with your ult, which is half circle back forward slash. And by just hitting slash and heavy / normals. I believe it also does it on block. Yeah, you can see the blood coming back, and it lowers my meter a bit. Hit. See, it's stopping when I hit him, and now it's starting to decrease. I'm not really going to teach you how to play inside the blood mode, because it's better if you just lose every single game you get put into it, so that way you know just never to go into it. You really need to avoid this at all costs, because it's super easily punishable. This right here, if they block this, you're donezo, right? Or if they're not like, my bad, if they're not hit by it or anything, like you are getting punished for big damage, right? One more thing is just like all these specials, I'm pretty sure do almost exactly the same blood gauge besides Fukio. They're all going to do a ton. So use them sparingly. They're really just trying to use Fukio like a lot. The other ones, I mean, you can go all in. Like I've seen Otashi, I think that's his name. This dude will do like mad stuff, like, or not even like that, like even worse. He'll do like boom, boom, just like nonsense, right? And then he'll command grab and save it. But yeah, I think that's a good enough explanation of Blood Rage. Give me a second. All right, next we're just going to generally talk about his neutral. So his strength is obviously big grounded normals, big normal, big low normal, big normal when you have blood gauge up, big old normal, the 2 H's to keep them out of the air. I really recommend using Fukio to navigate the screen, as I said before. especially when they're in the air, right? So let me set a recording, and they're just gonna jump up and do that, right? All right, let me do a super jump. Actually, even better, even better. Instant air dash heavy, right? So let me go to recording. All right, perfect. Oh, that wasn't the best. All right, there we go. My point is, when they're in the air, no matter what kind of aerial it is, you should be moving out of the way to change your trajectory. Whether it is dashing under them or dashing back. Let me do this better. Anyway, you know, you got it. You guys see what I'm talking about. Very important. You'll start to notice that certain characters are weaker at if you put them at certain angles when they're in the air, and that angle is where you want to be, and you always want to punish. Like, let's say I dash back from their jump or something. This character has the ability to like dash back in and grab, right? Which is like a super cheeky punish. Let's see. Let's talk about a super jump. It comes at a great angle. It's probably the best one in the game. It kind of needs to be mixed in with empty hops, because if you just keep doing this, you're going to get 6P'd every single time. So I recommend mostly playing on the ground, but mix in some empty hops and then, you know, do that. It's a great way to get in. Lastly, I know you have big buttons, but you know, other people have big buttons too, and you got a 6P to counter poke, because people are going to do it to you and it's going to feel cheap. You got to do it back to them, to like the Ramathals, the Nagomirs. Very important that you're doing this. Oh wait, actual last thing. Once again, use 5HS when you have blood gauge up, because it's big. Big normal, big normal. Look at that. Glorious, glorious normal. Alright, so let's talk about Nagoriyuki's defense slash meter use. So, sorry, my brain got a little weird there. So, Nago obviously is weak defense. He doesn't have DP, doesn't have good movement. And Fukyo is generally punishable, so like if you're in the corner, you try to dash at them and poke to like get out, they can just jab you back. Obviously, this bot's not going to jab me back. I really recommend, like if you're in the corner, they have you blocking for days. The best thing you can do is yellow Roman, or I'll give you an example actually. So I actually have no idea what Kai does. I'll just make him do slash. Okay. We'll reset. And I'll set him to guard all afterwards. And we'll reset. No. Start immediately. Am I getting trolled? Okay. Oh, okay. You really need to use yellow Roman cancel. It immediately becomes your turn. Obviously, this uses meter, but I really think it's just the best way to spend meter. Other than also like his ult to get rid of blood meter. But yeah, you really need to use this, like especially when things are looking scary, like you're below half HP or something and your risk is up. You have to use this. An example of this, let's say they're this far away. I take a turn, I do that into that, and while it looks like I'm pressuring them, all I'm really doing with this is pushing us back to the center screen. As you can see, we're back in the center screen. And all I really did there was yellow Roman cancel and take a turn. Oh, my 2S didn't come out there. But yeah, you guys see my point. I actually think it's pretty underutilized right now, just using that as a way to get out. People definitely need to yellow Roman cancel more. And with Nagoriyuki's pushback, it's so strong. Alright, let me turn that off. Also, don't be like sparing with your... did I make up that word? Use your burst is my point. This is so strong, dude. Use your burst. And don't use it when you're already in the corner. Use it when that Mei hits you with that first like counter hit with the dolphin. Burst, I'm out. It's not happening, dude. My character sucks in the corner. That's pretty much all I have for defense. Oh, obviously also try to 6p their pokes again. Very strong on very strong. It beats the normals and it beats aerial options, so make sure to use 6p. Very important defensive tool. Lastly, or not lastly, sorry, I don't know why that word just came out of my mouth. We're going to talk about his offense. So he has great offense. He uses Fukia to frame trap, reset the turn, or command grab. And I recommend checking out Fame96 on Twitch, and I think he has a YouTube channel as well if you want to see how a pro goes about this kind of pressure. I can give you quick examples, like a quick one before, like that into that, or this into this. And at any point, they're going to be... People really, like... They want to mash, but if you convince them they can't mash, they don't mash, and that's when you grab. And you can just go for the craziest things. So let me talk about some ideas to get you started, right? So this happens all the time, right? Someone blocks far slash, but what most people don't know is that there's just a ton of mind games after this. So first of all, I can tick throw, and if you want to do this for yourself, the timing for it is wait for the sword to go behind your head. I'm also holding forward here because I know when I'm going to go for the tick throw. I know it. So I'm holding forward, and then I just do quarter circle forward P, and I get the tick throw exactly when I want it. In the same vein, it's kind of strike throw mix. So they either don't strike or they don't jab, and so they get grabbed, or it's easier to just do after block standing P, right? Or you 2-1-4H, which, like I said before, auto frame traps, and this leads to Mondo damage. And I'm going to explain why, although this option looks way superior than the command grab also leads to some insane Oki. So, yeah, stick around for that. Getting the command grab is massive on this character. So, yeah, so not only can they do this, that option and that option, they can also just press the next slash, which in turn also frame traps, but also beats backdash. People will try to backdash. Let me show you what backdash looks like in this scenario. Like, let's say you went for the frame trap and they backdashed. You see that it missed them, but surprisingly, for whatever reason, you guys are neutral, and that means you can grab them. So either they double backdash and punish you, which I promise you is never happening in your career, or they backdash it and you grab them. That's just something to keep in mind. I guess you could also just press a normal and restart pressure. I just think it's funny. I think it is hilarious. Another thing you can do off of far slash. And keep in mind, these are all non-Fukio options. So at any time, you can throw in your Fukios and do whatever, right? Lastly, the last non-Fukio option is, of course, you can just reset your turn from there. And I recommend doing it a far slash or close slash because it's your most versatile move. You have a lot of Gatlings after it. So let me talk about the blocked 2-1-4H situation, because it happens a lot, whether you like it or not. You're going to go for this frame trap, they're going to block it, you're going to be here, or something's going to happen where you accidentally input it. I don't know. At some point, they're going to block this, and this state right here is +0. It's neutral for both people. So there are a bunch of options you can do. Number one, you can 5p. It's your fastest normal. If you have to time it right. If you mash, you're not going to get it on like the instant. You're not going to get it like right away. I recommend learning the timing for it. So 5p, it's your fastest normal. You can beat anything that is under 5 frames. Or sorry, you can beat anything that is over 5 frames, and you'll clash with 5-frame move. You also have 6p. So if you notice, they're using like slash or whatever at the start. You can just 6p it, and you're going to hit them because you're upper body invincible. Next is a tick throw. You can just grab off this for some reason. And it's important to know that you're doing a command grab, so people have said that you can throw this. So people have said the enemy can throw this move, but your command grab actually just beats throws, like I said earlier, so that's not really an option. Off this move, you can also backdash. Generally a safe tool unless they press slash for some reason, then you might get hit by their far slash. Caillou would definitely get hit by his far slash. Other characters don't have such a long ranged one. And of course you can always, the go-to, right? You can always back Fukia and either reset to neutral or reset your pressure with this again. So let me give you a quick OS that I came up with when I was learning this character, because I had a really hard time with this situation right here, because I would always trick myself into doing the same thing. Like I would just autopilot into this, then I would match this, and I would just hope I didn't get punished, right? I would hope that I won the RPS, or that like they didn't have a faster normal. I would do it every single time. So let me give you an example of something I found to beat it. I'm going to set this to block. My bad. I don't know why I said beat it, but you guys will see what I mean. It's good. So we're going to set 1 to block, and we're going to set 1 to mash and 1 to just block. Perfect. And we're going to set this to random. So both times I'm going to go for this into this, right? And sometimes it's going to frame trap and they're going to get hit. And other times it's going to be blocked and I'm going to mash backdash. An option select is when you do the same option and it beats it. It accounts for 2 different scenarios. So number 1, we'll see what comes first. I'm mashing backdash. I got the counter hit. I can combo into it because my backdash didn't come out because the counter hit came out. It freezes time. And hopefully we don't get a count. No, we got the counter hit. Okay. Okay. He was going to do it anyways. There we go. We mashed backdash. And now we're taking a turn again. From this position, this is generally where you are. Let me turn both these off now. I always press R1, despite me being closer pressing L1. So from here, we backdash. What do we do from here? We can far slash again. We can 2S5H. We can 2S2H if we think they're jumping, or we can react to it with a jump. We can far slash into Fukio back in. Like, you really just want them to not mash. And once you see they're blocking some like ridiculous thing, like this right here is not good, what I just did. It's terrible. But if for whatever reason they blocked that, grab them, because they're committed to grabbing. You just need to notice these things where you see your own pressure and you're like, this is stupid. Why are they not like doing anything? Okay, well, grab. So I think that's good for that. Generally, when you're first starting, I would recommend to just either always... Yeah, I would stick with 2 options. I would backdash or I would mash the 5P. And I would try to switch it up. If they're really respecting this, like you notice that they're not mashing it ever, go for the tick throw. And this option is like better than every single option combined, but I find it hard to hit confirm sometimes. Where like I'll do it and like I'll get the counter hit or I won't, and then I'm thinking about that and then I'm not able to Fukio back in time and I get hit by like a 5P. But maybe you don't have that problem. I would try it. It's definitely very good. Most of the time when I do it though, I'm like committed to it. I'm like, I know they're blocking this. Now I'm going back out, I'm going back in, and I'm grabbing them, right? So last part of offense is, let's say we have him in the corner, right? I really recommend trying to like stay grounded. Like, let's say for whatever reason you're back here and they're there, right? You kind of want to like use your big normals to keep them out, get them to jump. I mean, let's say this is the end of your turn, right? Like you did all your turn, you couldn't open them up, you don't feel like going for the command grab, you back off, you're in this position. You really want them to try to jump. That way you can 2H it on block, dash in, and take another turn. And if for whatever reason your 2H misses, or you notice they're already too high for your 2H to hit, that's when you jump JD, or you jump and JS. That's just a quick way to keep them in the corner once you have them there, assuming you didn't already open them up, but you're playing Nagoriyuki, so you probably already opened them up. Next, let's talk about combos. It might seem a little early for talking about combos, but there's a reason I have to explain the combos first, and that's because we're going to try to end our combos in a specific way so we have some kind of Oki. So, first of all, my philosophy is to try to do a starter, like a starter into 214HS, which is this move, into 6H OTG. You do this mid-screen, and the only time I would ever cash out and do a bigger combo is if it's gonna kill or if you have the ult afterwards, because the ult is gonna lower your blood meter by like 2 bars or something, and that's the only time I would ever go into like a bigger combo. I don't even know if this, yeah, that's the only time I would ever go for like a bigger combo, because it's gonna lead to a lot of it's gonna fill your blood gauge quite a bit if you don't have something afterwards. So let's talk about this combo and what starters it works on. So like I said, we're going to be going for the 2-1 HS 6H OTG, because it leads to the throw mix, the strike throw mix that I'll talk about later. You can get this combo from 2K6P. This is the recommended one. I would just recommend always doing this string. For some reason I'll explain in a bit. And 5K, 6K also combos into this. 6K by itself combos into this. 6P does not combo into this unless it's a counter hit and you're close. And far slash combo into this. Oh, and 2S only on non-counter hit combos into this. So let me show the combo with each of these things. That into that. It's very simple. That into that. That into that. I already showed that one, lol. And this one will not work. This one you go for the safe jump. Ah, that was a test. Do you guys remember that? Probably not. Hope you're taking notes. So, one more thing I want to talk about is combos before we get into the mix-ups. Is, for some reason, the wall break in this game is weird, and it's not determined just straight up based on hits. It's like you'll chain grab somehow, like you'll grab them in the corner like a bunch of times, and then you'll notice that the wall just breaks really fast for some reason. And so my corner combos are very short and straightforward, and I make sure that they're exactly the same. So I'm just going to force counter hit on so I can explain how this works. So pretty much the crux of the combo is going to be 214H into walking forward slash into ult. And if you don't have ult, then a fire slash will come out, and you do it that you just do far slash until it'll break the wall. But it's going to be like this for every single corner hit. That, or it's going to be this. Yeah, I'm doing that into that into that. It's the exact same combo. You'll never get confused. You learn this one combo, you'll never get confused in the corner. I just messed it up because I took my hand off the controller for some reason. It's the exact same thing. Off 2H, you can get one extra slash in. I'm sure you might be able to do another one. So I don't know. I haven't checked into it. But yeah, I recommend using these routes in the corner. They're so consistent, and you're always going to get that ult unless the wall is nearly broken already. But if it ever breaks like that, then you just pop your ult. I'm acting like this is Overwatch, but you guys see my point. Let's go to the next section. Big ol' section. Let's talk about mix-ups. I know you guys love mix-ups, right? So everyone loves mix-ups. So Nago uses strike throw mix, and this kind of mix is vulnerable to DPs and invincible reversal options. Fortunately, it is extremely difficult to get these inputs out before being grabbed dumb wake up. Also, it's just extremely difficult to mash on wake up when it comes to these things. My friends have like screamed about how they're mashing and they can't beat my command grab. That's how tiny the window is. Like, you can't just press the button, you need to time it. It's crazy. So also wake up jumps, backdashes, and mashes are always going to be the grab slash throw option, and they might get a big punish off it. So this is risky a bit, but that being said, the mix is still extremely strong. So, 1st First, let's talk about some like pseudo mix first. Some things I always recommend. So earlier I said that I always recommend after 236k doing a Fukio, right? Make it a habit. This is my philosophy. But this is the reason. So let's say I get a grounded hit. Fukio, Fukio. I'm in their face for grab, throw mix, right? Strike. Throw. Now let's do the same thing, but on counter hit. Or sorry, counter hit? No, I would definitely combo, right? You're definitely comboing on counter hit. That's not important. What I mean to say is jump. On jump. Obviously, I couldn't grab him. He's jumping, right? I was testing you guys. Haha. So we also have strike throw mix off that. It looks cheap because it is cheap. And surprisingly, like, they really can't interrupt it. Especially, maybe there might be a specific distance where it doesn't. But for my testing, you really, like, that hits meaty. That close slash hits meaty, meaty. Next, let's talk about guards on the same move. Once again, standing. Not that good, right? Who cares, right? But on jumps, that's your turn. Like, you just jailed. The dude's holding jump. You can see a jump did not come out. That is a jailed turn. So once again, I would just recommend always 236King after your 2H. Next, we're going to talk about. Remember earlier we were talking about how you can do far slash, far slash, far slash. Once again, this can also lead to the same kind of strike throw mix. Once again, these aren't the best timed ones, but they're going to catch people. I promise you they're going to catch people. I don't know if this one exactly is completely perfect. I can check it right now for you. We'll have him throw. We're going to command grab his throw if all goes well. And we command grabbed his throw. So yeah, this is definitely true. Because we're also going to... yeah, I did all far slash. And now... Oh, well... Actually, you know what? We might have to go into this. Yeah. Maybe just the throw is the option. Maybe this one isn't so good. Oh, you can do that. So, this is the real mix here. I threw those ones in as like the teaser, right? So, back to our 6H OTG. Let me get him to stop doing that. Everything in my body wants me to go try this again, but because I know I've definitely hit meaty people before. Maybe I'm doing it wrong right now, but yeah. Anyways, 6H OTG. After you do this, sorry, after we do this into this, as we talked about before, so starter into this, we can jump in for strike throw mix, right? So mid screen, you're going to be wanting to use 2K 6P for your strike, because not only this combo on hit, but we'll set them to. It's easier once again to just do this. Not only does it combo, but it also frame traps. And like we said before, the 6P counter actually combos back into itself. So, yeah, I would use this one. Also, remember that this is super active as compared to this. Super active. You dash in, poke. So the 2K6P is going to beat all options besides DP and reversal supers. And we'll give either counter hit or non-counter hit, depending on whether they mashed or if they jumped or backdashed. And off any of these, you can just loop the mix over and over. So especially against lower level opponents, they're just going to give this to you for free. They're going to hold a mix up every single time. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so let's talk about what happens if they block the 2K. So let's not guard all. Yeah, we'll just do it from here, right? Let's say they block the 2K, right? Let me turn that off real quick. let's say they block the 2K. What are your options from here? Well, if you're autopiling, that means you already 6P'd, which means you already need a special cancel or it's the end of your turn. You probably need to do something like that, right? But if you're not autopiling and you're on your game, from this position, you have a couple options. You can gimmick out a 5D, an overhead. You can use the most useless button of all time and do a 2D for whatever reason, if you're, not having the best day or whatever. And you can also, for some reason, tick throw after a dashed move. You can do that. I haven't mentioned this yet. It's very strong. Any dashed move that's a non-heavy special, you can tick throw after once you memorize the once you memorize how long the once you memorize the timing for it. So you can do it even after 6P. You can do it after 5K. Just some ridiculous things. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think it's gonna work on. Oh, / won't even work. 2S, no way, right? It wouldn't. Okay, it works on 2S. It works on everything, boys, besides your heavy / buttons. So yeah, very good. And once you can also just stagger once you get here. So let's say we dash in, we go for this. All right, now we're going for this. Now they're kind of spaced. If we go dash in, boom, boom, they're kind of spaced. Maybe we go for this. Maybe it's just better to do boom into boom, that into that. Get them closer to the corner. And now they're in the corner and we're at that god spacing and they have to make a move. They have to get out. So let's move back to the mix-up. Sorry. So we know what the attack option is, right? We're doing our this into this mid-screen. What's our throw looking like, right? So you always want to use the command grab for the throw. And if you're having trouble doing this input, maybe you're like, oh, I'll just use this throw. It's easier for me to do when it does more damage, right? Lol. Don't do that because this one gets rid of all your blood meter. That has a ton of benefits that we'll talk about later. And it leads to some great Oki if you hit it, right? Also, there's one other property. It's kind of crazy, but command grab not only beats universal throws, but it also beats DPs and grabbable reversals for some reason. But all these require specific timing. The same timing, I mean, but it is kind of a tough timing for the DPs specifically. It's like tighter, but obviously they're all in the same range of each other. Like one timing can do all. So yeah, your goal here is going to be to grab them on wake up. So I'm going to set them to do a DP. I'm hopefully going to do this first try. Usually I can, but right now I'm recording, so I probably can't, right? Oh, I'm actually dumb, aren't I? And of course I would have messed it up anyways there, because I definitely did not even grab him. He was standing still. I missed it that time. I'm sure I have to get it, right? There's no way I would miss all of these, right? There we go. I grabbed him. It really isn't that difficult. I'm just kind of nervous doing it on camera. There you go. The best way to learn how to do this is really to just look at those animations. Like when I'm doing this, I'm staring right at the Kai Kisuke. I'm looking for the animation to get up. And another way to practice this is going to practice with a really tight timing, is you can set them to throw on wake up. And you know you got it right if you tech the throw. This is going to seem kind of weird, but okay, I don't know if I'll be able to get this because this is even tighter timing, but it's really going to teach you the timing. It'll teach you to look at the wake up. There you go. So we tech the throw. That means we had the right timing. And it's just something to get you started, right? So it all seems hunky-dory, right? Everything's great. Your grab beats everything, including mash sometimes, because either their mash didn't come out because they were mashing and not like timing their mash, which I explained earlier, or maybe they did too slow of a button. I don't know if this is going to work on Kai, but I do know that like just a standing slash sometimes isn't fast enough. I'm going to try it here. If it doesn't work first try, I'm not going to go too hard into it. There you go. I just grabbed his standing slash on wake up, which it would have been a close slash there, right? So it's stupid strong. You're hitting them so earlier into their wake up. So yeah, it looks super strong, right? Well, there's one problem to the mix-up, and although most people won't do it, this can be backdashed mid-screen. Let me show what that looks like. So first of all, if they backdash your command grab, you're dead, though, right? You're getting hit there with a close slash. If they backdash your mash, you can block in this situation. You're not actually dead. There are options, however, to beat the backdash in mid-screen. And corner won't have this problem. I'll explain that in a bit. But there is a way to beat the backdash. I'm an idiot. Obviously, it's already on backdash. And that is to... Oh, wait. I should probably... Hey, let me go back to the combo we were talking about. So he's backdashing, so I missed the grab there. I can momentum cancel back instantly. Just hold back and mash slash. That'll beat his backdash. So if you see somebody that's woke and they're doing backdash, you can do this option. And I'm sure there are better options. People will find them later, but for the 2 people that have backdashed this before and they think they're Pog, I do that. And you can also do 5, well, you can also do 5k, which will catch backdash. And if they do anything else and a counter hit somehow, once again, that combo straight into your command grab, which is huge. That being said, yeah, that backdash does make this mix-up harder for you, definitely. But in the corner, it's fine. So in the corner, let's do the exact same thing. After recovery, backdash, and we're just going to do the exact same thing. Now we do close slash, right? So in mid-screen, you're always going to want to do this string into 2k, 6p. In the corner, you can do close slash. And right there, you probably saw my close slash missed, right? It missed. But let me set this guy to guard all. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm going to do it off this. Just so... I just hit him. He's set to guard all. He should have backdashed and grabbed, right? Well, you're going to get 2 close slashes out before he is able to recover from his backdash. That is the Nago way. There I'm getting it a little bit later, so I'm hitting him regardless. But yeah, it's good. Trust me, it's good. Yeah, I'm not so good in training mode, so excuse me. But yeah, I'm just going to do it off that to show that off. And I know that works. I know for a fact that works. Next, let's talk about what to do. 1 second. All right, next, let's talk about what to do if you hit a command grab. So we said before, oh, it's so great to hit a command grab. It beats all these options. It's really hard to do anything to. The only thing that beats it is backdash and holding jump or mashing if it's actually properly timed, or DP, or let's move on. Anyways, command grab is great. And when you land it, you get that close slash Oki. You get it anywhere on screen. So once again, let's set this guy to backdash. I know I just got rid of backdash here. We'll set it to backdash, we'll set it to mash, and we'll set it to throw. So on backdash, I hit him again, right? He got hit. Oh, by the way, sometimes you'll be a little late in the close slash and you won't hit them, but they will be blocking the close slash and you have a ton of pressure after it. So here, there you go. That's the backdash. Here's the standing P. That's a counter hit. Wait. Oh, well, we don't talk about that, right? Okay, anyways, you can get a combo off that. I'm tired right now, okay? Leave me alone. But you get a massive combo off that, right? And off throw, you get the exact same thing, just to show this. Great, counter hit, right? And of course, let me keep them on throw. You can command grab into command grab. Into command grab. Oh, well, there I messed it up. But yeah, this mix is super strong, right? Super, super strong. Works anywhere on screen. Your blood gauge goes down to 0, which is huge because when your blood gauge is low, now you can start focusing on your offense again. So let's turn this off. So let's say they're doing nothing, right? And you went for mash and they blocked it. I need to set them to guard for it. They blocked a close slash, right? So from this position, you're +3. You have the ability to tick throw, both in the corner and in mid screen. You have the ability to, let me do this again. All right, I'll do sliding close slash. You guys know what I mean. So from here, you can also go back into another close slash. You can't tick throw off the second one, letting you know. You can also delay into a 2S counter hit, or you can delay a little bit into a 6H counter hit, or you can just restart pressure with this, go through all these mind games that we talked about earlier. My point is, this right here is so flexible, and when you're in this position, you're afraid. You're really afraid of your life. Yeah, it seems like a dramatic way to stop that, but it's important, right? Next, we'll just talk about the universal throw pressure. This is going to work exactly the same as the command throw. You're going to be a little farther, but luckily Fukyo goes that entire way anyways. But it works the exact same way, except now you have the ability to safe jump. You can safe jump off of any of these, right? And little gimmick that I'll end you guys on is anywhere on screen, you can just land and throw again. So if you've been using this a lot, then you can just go and do a command grab. Empty, command grab, empty, command grab. Let me do it in the corner. I'm going to hold forward still. Command grab. Command grab. It catches people. You'd be surprised. And once again, if you go for the safe jump, use 5k afterwards. It's spaced really well for it. And you can get your turn started right after. And that's all I've got, guys. So I'd like to give a quick shout out to WrathFGC for inspiring me to make this guide by making a ton of great guides for my entire Dragon Ball FighterZ career, even though that was short-lived. I'm sure he's also going to make some great Strive tutorials, so I'd recommend going to sub to him. Like the video if you learned something. Maybe I'll make another video like this in the future, but this one took me around 140 hours to learn the character. Don't get your hopes up. Bye, guys.